Jocelyn McClellan with you today, and I'm coming at you for some things that I need to make sure you don't forget. 1, taking care of your skin. 2, taking care of your eyelashes. 3, having killer makeup. 4, having killer makeup. I broke things down so you can see a couple key important things that I do not want you to miss. Taking care of your skin is first and foremost for a very good makeup. Did you ever think about that? If you're having super oily issues or super dry issues and you don't take care of the problem, you're gonna always have a problem. So let's take care of the problem so we don't have a problem, right? All right, let's get started with this video. I hope that you like it. Let me know if you have any questions after this. Subscribe to this page to get more tips and tricks. And guys, I just got a brand new flat iron, so more hair tutorials will be coming at you. And actually a decent one, I believe. So here you go, makeup for you, mature skin. I don't care what your skin is. Anybody's skin can take care of this. Key tips and tricks. One thing to always remember, everyone's skin is so different because we all age differently, genetics, anything like that. So the tips that I will give, know that things might vary for you. So as your mascara beauty artist, know this. You might have to do it differently than how I said it because of how your skin is. The joys of having me as your artist is I tell you which one is best for you. So I will give you options, but if you need more personal help, you got me in your pocket. So make sure you reach out to me so that I know what I can do for you, and I'm more than willing to help. So let's get this party started. First, we're gonna talk about taking care of your skin beforehand with some washes. So I have right here a toner, a cleanser, and a moisturizer. These are killer awesome, non-sudsing, non-high in alkaline, so that they are good for your skin with lactic acid supporting these babies, hence why it's called milk. But you're going to start with this product with the cleanser. You're gonna cleanse it out. It's gonna not suds at all. You start with the dry face if you're going to use the milk moisturizing system called Leches with Mascara Beauty. And then you're gonna go into, after you get that all off, I like to wash my face dry, get it till it's almost so dry that you can't do anything, get my fingertips wet, and then go in and rinse it off some more, including eyes. It comes off awesomely. Then when you're starting out with the product, I highly recommend taking the toner. Look how beautiful this bottle is. It is so beautiful. I take the toner, and when I'm starting out the new product, I just do it 1 to 2 times a week, and then I work my way up. Now I'm using it fully, and I love it. You do not need much of this toner at all. Then you're gonna finish off the look, and because of that toner, you barely use any of this goodness of a moisturizer. This is the milk moisturizer. Look at the top, watch this. You see that? That is how you don't waste any of your product. It is the best ever. I just finished my very first bottle of this with the new marketing. Let me get this all rubbed in, then I can talk. I got it the 1st of February, and it is now the end of June, and I just barely finished that up. So I love this moisturizer. The trick with your moisturizer is, though, it is such a good moisturizer that if you don't need to moisturize in the morning, you just take care of it good. If you have normal skin, take care of it good at night. If you have oily skin, take care of it good at night. Rinse off in the morning with nothing but the moisturizer at night, and the whole system at night. If you have super dry skin, then I recommend putting it all over your face. Let it sit for a good 20 minutes before application of your makeup. And then if you have dry patches on top of that, you're just gonna go in and address the dry patches, let them wait a good 5 minutes, and then apply your makeup. Next, we're gonna talk about a key little thing that we don't think about as we get older. This is the eyelash curler. This is so super important to make your eyes look bigger, bolder, and as we get older, they don't curl so much. So invest in one of these bad boys. You won't regret it, and it's going to make your eyes look more full. I promise you there. Next, we're gonna talk about a bronzer. So mascara came out with a cream bronzer. This is Bella. She is beautiful. And notice that her color isn't super orange. And the creator of mascara, Kara, she did that on purpose because she wanted you to look more tan than orange. So this is the perfect color. Bronzers are awesome. They are very important, but you need to make sure that you use them in the right way so that we're not overdoing our contours and so that we're not overdoing our bronzers and getting them too high up, because what we want to do is really accentuate this area, and when we get too powerful and too crazy with bronzers, it's actually gonna age us and make us look a little older. So I'm gonna teach application for where you wanna put your bronzer and your contour and make both of them work perfectly together. Okay, here I have an amazing setting spray. Your setting spray can be the start and the end of a killer look. So with my setting spray, I'm about to get started with my look. I'm gonna spray the spray on to the perfector sponge. A sponge is so important as well, making sure that we're not applying too much makeup, making sure we can apply powder with it, making sure that our makeup isn't tacky. The sponge is so beneficial for you. So it's $13. It's the perfect amount of softness for your face. The perfect amount. I have not ever used a better sponge than this one, and I kid you not, is by far my favorite. It's $13 and it is perfection. I like to get just one side wet, keep the other side dry, because our face is not treated equal in the sense of our skin isn't always balanced in key places. So I'll show you why as we go, that one side is dry and one side is damp. It's actually not even damp, it's just a little trickle of wet. If you feel that your skin needs a primer, that is up to you too. Primer, sunscreen is magical and important. I just started using this one right here. It's reflecting, so let me see if I can show you right here. Okay, this is SuperGoop. SuperGoop is super awesome. It is SPF 40, broad spectrum, water and sweat resistant. This is really good for if you have oily skin, dry skin, whatever skin. This is set up so that it can be a primer and a sunscreen. And right here it says colorless, scentless, oil-free formula for face that smooths the appearance of pores, grips makeup in place, and leaves a velvety soft finish, perfect for all skin tones. So because it's clear, it's perfect for all skin tones, and I really truly like this. I've been using it for about a week and I'm a fan of the SuperGoop. So I have you to me a little bit closer than I normally do so that you can see the way the light is hitting me. I'm hoping, as I'm looking in a mirror, I'm hoping that you can see my little sun spots. They're freckles slash, not the cutest kind of freckles because it's skin damage freckles. And I have some things going on here, but I have my eyes addressed very semi-lightly to save time, my eyebrows, some mascara, and I'm gonna now go and put on my makeup for you, and I'm gonna walk you through those steps and why I do what I do. So I'm gonna start off with our highlight. Mascara foundation consists, and when we color match you, we give you 4 colors in the sense of a highlight, a contour, a lip and cheek, and an illuminator. More than likely though, I'm gonna give you 2 highlight colors because your face is different. It's got more than one tone in it, and it leaves perfection to wake up that face, give you the colors you need to make the tones match up, and it's perfection. I absolutely love it. Here is my very own, very used compact. So all my makeup, I have my eyeshadows in the top part, and I have my whole face in the bottom part, but these are my colors. I use white, peach, and amber. I go in and I teach you all to go in with the darker color first. This is so you can address all those underlying issues. Some people only really do have one tone in their face, which that's pretty far in between of how many of those that I actually color match that are one tone, but we're addressing the darker tones first so that our skin is all balanced out, and then we can go in and address the lighter part. Next, I'm gonna go in and address the lighter color, the white peach, and I usually go in with the small end. You can go in with the big end if you want. Next, I'm going to put in my contour on just one side. I hope you can see here. I just put it on one side of the brush, just on that side. And I am going to go in and contour, lifting up at the cheeks to get good application there. Blend it out. It makes it easier to blend. And then I'm going to continue around and frame my face. I have my contour in place, and now I'm going to apply my bronzer before my lip and cheek, just so that you can see that it makes it a little bit more vibrant. Okay, so I'm going to put on that bronzer. Now I'm using a cream bronzer. You can use either one. If you feel like you're super oily, then you'd probably want to use a powder bronzer, but there, again, I'm not. So I'm just going to take that Bella bronzer. I'm going to take my brush and just dab it in there. You don't need to dab hard, and you don't need to swipe, or else you're gonna get too much. Now you wanna focus on the tops of your cheek, everything that the sun would hit the most. So if you think of these points, your forehead, your nose, the tops of your cheek, not under the chin, but making sure we don't put everything on the chin. But when you do bronze, you want to make sure that it is ever so softly hitting those points, but not going too high up to the eye, because we still want that to appear open. So I'm just going to apply this on, and then you will see where I do it all. Now I'm gonna go in and add my lip and cheek. Before I get started with that though, in case you are somebody that wants to contour your nose, I'm gonna show you some tricks. You wanna make sure that you don't do too warm of a color in your nose. So if you use a warm contour color, you wanna make sure you use more of an ash on your nose, because people's noses tend to pull more red than they do ashy, for sure. So I'm going in with ash on my nose. There's a mascara, if you feel like even ash pulls you red, there's a color called Shadow. And Shadow is used for nose contour and giving really good detail there and getting you the color that you need so that you don't pull too warm for your nose. It's more of a gray color. So I'm gonna go down the sides, making sure that I don't hit these points down here, and then I'm going to get that lighter color and ride her on down my nose. And blend it on out. I'm gonna get my blush colors here. I got 3 that I normally keep in there at all times. My 3 is Frenchie, Hollywood, and Desert Sunset. So I use Desert Sunset on my cheeks on days I feel more dry, because it's a gloss kind. You can see right there, it's got some gloss to it, just like the illuminator does. And then I use it on my lips on the daily. Like, I love that stuff. So I go in with my finger. I'm gonna use Hollywood today, and I just tap that on the cheekbone. Not too high, because remember, we want to leave this open. We do not want to fill that in. When you fill that in, you're aging yourself. Don't fill this area in unless it's with an illuminator. So I'm very softly, this is that same brush that I actually applied my highlight with. It's so soft, like the softest one of your life. And I just kind of tap that puppy into place. Now, see right now, I don't know if you can see, but I kind of have a disconnect with my contour and my lip and cheek. So I wanna make sure that I do not keep that. I want the two to come together and definitely not be apart. Now I'm going to take my powder. I have a powder here and I have a bronzer there. If you want to set your bronzer from your cream foundation, like if bronzer in the powder is what you want and you want to set that cream, if you want to set that cream contour, you ever so can, however you want, whichever you choose. You can choose the powder bronzer, you can use the cream bronzer, whichever you like. I'm gonna take the powder and definitely do not overuse your powder. And if you are someone who has a lot of wrinkling under your eyes, you want to be ever so careful with powder and making sure too that you do not have too much highlight. So that sponge, that wet side of that sponge is going to come in very handy. Get rid of any excess. You don't want to get rid of it all because we're still wearing makeup, but any excess. That's why I like to use the sponge with my powder and just barely tap it all in place, and move your eye up and around too so that you're not like squinting or anything like that to really get in there. But so minimal on the powder if you feel you need it. If you don't feel you need it, do not worry about it, but make sure that powder is so minimal. I definitely need powder on my forehead. That's where I tend to get oily. And on my chin. Okay, and then I'm going to set. You can do this a couple different ways. So I've talked to you about the Stay Setting Spray before. You can do a powder and a setting spray 2 different ways. If you want more of that glow, that come alive glow, if you want more of that glow, you're going to use the setting spray last after you powder. One thing with more mature skin is we need that glow. Our skin is completely changing, it's losing its luster. The glow is super important. So you can apply powder and then put on the spray, but if you do have parts on your face that you know that are more oily, apply the spray, and on those parts, only on those parts that are a little more oily, just take and tap in some powder just to finish it off with, so that ends a little matte, so you're not having to worry about that glow on those oily areas. Okay, here we go. And then lastly, lining those lips. So picking a color that's pretty nude, not too dark, is important for you as well. But lining them, especially where we kind of feel like we're getting lost in the mix with more mature skin, lining them is awesome, and sticking with those more nude colors is going to help it stay in place. Also, not going too dark when you have more mature skin, because you have a way higher chance of it bleeding with all of the movement that goes on in our mouths and the more wrinkles we have. So we want to make sure that we don't use too dark of colors there. In fact, I am using a nude lip and cheek for my lips today. See, and it just gives the lips a really neutral look. If you wanted to bring in more pinks, you can. I actually went on the inside of my lips as 2 with the nude color. You don't even have to do that. You can blend the 2 together. If you're wanting to keep it the same, then keep it the same and just top it off with a little bit of that desert sunset that I always have packed in my palette. And then if you want to add in pink into your little lippy lippers, you can do that as well. Now, how I get this to have a better stay power is to use the brush and tapping it into place versus sweeping it. And then I let it sit just a titch before putting on the gloss. So I just let it sit just a bit. While I'm letting it sit, I'm gonna put on my illuminator. This is what brightens your face right under your eye. This is a pearl illuminator. Pearl is the name that it's called, so it has more of an iridescent glow to it. You can do a really warm glow like our honey color, and if you have really tan skin, the beautiful rose gold is super pretty on that as well. So I'm just gonna take my perfector sponge again. See, this baby's got so many uses. You can use your finger, you can use your brush, and I'm just gonna tapping it right into place. You can go under your eye, brow, you can go down your nose, you can go, the sky's the limit with where you go. But start with the illuminator, and I'm gonna go get my hair done and come back to you with the whole shebang already finished out with the whole look. So I shall return right after this. I don't know if you noticed in this one, but from the last one, but I left my eyes a little less. today. So I didn't do very much eyeliner or anything, but I want to point out to make sure that you extend the eyeliner on the outsides outward and kind of up to help brighten up the look of your eye and draw it out versus drawing it down or not filling in. I went over the bone for the hooded eye to make sure that I allowed this to stay with an open look. So I hope that you like this video. I hope that you like this look. I hope that you remember to take good care of the skin. Now remember, Mascara Beauty is only sold in the USA as of now, 2018, right now, but it is working on getting it in other countries as well. Just all the people in the house say yeah. Take care, have a good one, go.